Welcome back to the Gaming Co-op. Today we're looking at all of the things that we've been able to see in leaks and recent reports from the Warhammer community. So today we were fortunate enough we got to see a little bit of rule stuff, which means orcs are definitely coming eventually here. I feel like a broken record saying that. But all the rules today were specifically tailored to snake bites, and more specifically, our favorite snake bite, Zodgrod. Here's his old mini. They gave us this up-resed version of the original, which looks great. Love the model. Crazy thing. And then here's his more beastly, geriatric, scary-looking Goliath character thing. So we still haven't gotten any rules for his guns or his other equipment, but we do have his grot prod thing. It's a combination of both. I'm guessing he's going to be probably about strength 8 because most orcs are base 6, so this gives him +2 unless he's geriatric, and who knows, maybe he's just as strong as a guardsman, but that's unlikely. You see those old man biceps? I did. But more importantly, let's get on to the key rules, specifically the Squig Stoppa, which is a fight last mechanic. It is entirely dedicated towards monster creatures, and the unit has to be within 6 inches, or it can also fail if you don't roll a 2 up. So there is some kind of balance within the ability itself. Furthermore, unlike some of the mechanics that we've been seeing, this one is specific to only targeting monsters, which makes sense from the fluff standpoint. It's not like this would work against like a land raider or some crazy big vehicle. Now let's look at the units that will be directly impacted by this ability, which includes the Demon Carrion, everyone's favorite stiletto wearing bug, who is a Forge World specific model that's been able to bring Tyranids back from the brink of, the bottom of the tier list. With its relatively high toughness and durability, its crazy amounts of movement, and its ability to charge on turn 1, it's a scary unit to have. Another big unit that you see on the tabletop is Mortarion. He's also going to be affected by this because he is a monster. He's an absolute beat stick and fills the role of being that turn 1 potential charge for Death Guard. So he's key in a lot of their lists, especially at competitive levels. And while we're talking about Demon Primarchs, demons in general have to be afraid. Most of the major, large, greater demons have the monster keyword. So as such, those keeper lists, they're going to be looking out for this guy as well. But on the other hand, there is a lot of factions that won't even be impacted by this, such as Imperial Guard, and most of the Space Marine chapters, excluding Ultramarines, because they're Primarch, he does have the monster keyword. So it's kind of become a rock, paper, scissors situation. There's going to be matchups where he is very prevalent. Zodgrod will be able to shut down big fighty monsters, but at the same time, there'll be matchups where he does literally nothing except for buffing Groth, which takes us into another form of balancing this ability and Zodgrod in general, is that he surrounds himself in Grots. Presumably, it's going to be a great rule. This is what he lost his clan for, the thing he's dedicated his life to, and it's just a will-be-done ability. Nothing new, it's what the Necrons have had for an addition. So Gretchen are now hitting on 3s in shooting and 4s in combat. And even the second half of this, being able to perform an action while shooting, is just kind of mediocre, because in most cases, Gretchen are literally just meat shields. It's not a new mechanic, it's not a unique mechanic, and thus it's kind of sad. Now let's try and build some synergy with Zodgrod. He's based around the concept of working with Gretchen. So if we look at other buffing characters for Gretchen, the current run third, he allows them to reroll 1s when it is equipped with the Grot Lash, which means that with my Will Be Done Grots, you will be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s with a strength 3 pistol with 12-inch range. So overall, that's, I guess, an option. I would not say it's going to clear hordes of guardsmen, let alone space marines, so I imagine this means that if a monster gets stuck in with Zodgrod, it's probably going to be okay, because Grots suck. So even if he synergizes with all the models I've just mentioned, it's not like the Super Grots are going to be putting out a ton of damage. So now let's move on to Gaz. His gun has changed from assault to rapid fire, so no more advancing and hitting on 6s. Now when he's in close combat, he'll be getting an additional 12 shots, or whenever he's in half range, and thus this change doesn't matter because most things he touches in combat die anyway. And not many competitive Orc players were taking him for his shooting profile. They were taking him because he's a durable, tanky character who scares people and absorbs a ton of shots. Furthermore, you chuck him on an objective and he can heroically intervene into anything within 3 inches of the objective because of the size of his base. So let's just look at something funny though, which is Zodgrod versus Gaz. So Zodgrod, believe it or not, is actually a bigger boss than Gaz. Because of Zodgrod's abilities, it makes monsters fight last. So thus when Zodgrod and Gaz face off against each other, Gaz goes last, which I find hilarious. I just think it's fluffy that this old geriatric orc is still the one in charge at the end of the day. So much for Gatsby and the Prophet of Gork and Mork when an old snakebite will just knock him onto his butt and make him go last. Time to wrap this up and talk about Codex Creep. A lot of people think that Zodgrod's going to make Orks overpowered, but this is their first fight last mechanic, and it's directly tied to a specific clan and named character, so we know it won't be duplicated multiple times within the Codex itself. Furthermore, we don't have the points yet, so who knows, he could be really expensive for all the other unnecessary benefits that he has, like his power Staba thing and the ability to buff Grots, which is useless. Speaking of, it's not like Grots are going to be taking down any monstrous creatures anytime soon, and at the end of the day, Zodgrod is just an orc, so he's not going to have amazing armor, and he probably won't even have an invuln, so it's not going to be like a Space Marine character that's going to be really hard to deal with on the tabletop. Once you get through his screen, he's just a soft orc at the end of the day, a pile of mushy old fungus. My final thoughts are, we don't know how they've balanced the rest of the Codex. Speed Freaks could still be an integral part, and thus he might be competing for, say, a HQ position that would be better filled with either a boss on bike or Def Kill War Trike, or who knows, maybe a weird boy, or that war boss in mega armor. There's so much coming that it's too soon to be so negative about one model getting some special rules that are unique to the orcs for the first time. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think about Zodgrod and the upcoming orc rules. Do you feel they're out of place? Do you think they're overpowered? Do you think they're not fluffy? Let me know. And we'll be back with more content here on the channel, so follow along on all our social media.